Legends from GENG. Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously, D+ are going to take blue side to bring it back to seriousness here. And I wonder if GENG will also budget that Nasus ban in that we have seen everyone else ban since Showmaker played it that one time. I know you weren't super thrilled about the Azir ban on red side, but I feel like on blue side, definitely a little bit more viable here for D+. And yes, it's very strong on this patch, but you could also pick it up yourself. Showmaker also a very good Azir. Tristana, gonna eliminate at least the Tristana Ziggs combo. As the bans are looking the same here so far for GENG, but they might just have to tech that Rumble in the third slot instead. Maokai also still available.
Yeah. Could potentially leave Vi open, and then in that way, Lucid's kind of met with a hard choice. You know, do I go for the Maokai or do I go for my Vi? And then on the side of GENG, you at least get one of those. Maybe if you're thinking about playing the Vi into the Maokai and going for a dive composition. We're going to see a Nidalee ban here up against Canyon.
Does make me wonder if they're like thinking about a Sejuani or something like that, as the Rumble will be taken away. Vi available, we've talked about this a lot, is almost a permaban pick against Lucid, but they've often, when it's left open, actually just moved away from it. And it's going to be the Nasus. First pick, first time it's been open since that very first game against BNK. Chovy certainly will have an answer because this is such a prolific pick right now in the meta, and they wouldn't have left it up without a response. The first response will be Maokai, which can definitely keep Nasus at arm's length.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Nasus, it basically is just kind of unpunishable, it feels like, in the mid lane, and then the side lane, he is very strong in the 1v1. So it's a really strong pick, but you're giving them Maokai again after game number 1.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like a Vi situation either for D+ with this Nasus pickup. And Ziggs is still available, and Maokai holds people in place, and then you Ziggs bomb them. And this is just blind. It's such a difficult pick to punish with lane swaps being viable, because you can just go somewhere else. And still hovering this Vi pick, instead of going for something like Misfortune Leona, which I feel like would be pretty strong here. Just want to have the Vi. Similar situation. Okay, the MF going to be swapped 2 here. Maybe Lucid's just having a little bit of fun. Can definitely go MF and Vi, but then you lose the Leona pick or the Rel pick, potentially, that they would want to take. And honestly, I feel like Chovy, because the pick he has into this Nasus is unknown, he doesn't have to lock it here in this third slot. It's very difficult to ban. I mean, it could be. It could be. But they could just get the Rel or the Leona themselves if it's not picked here, as Ivern will be the consideration.
Yeah. So not opting into the Lilia choice in the Maokai, they go for the other tree in Ivern, which has been a response many times by a bunch of teams.
Chovy looks like he might just be interested in playing Corki.
Corki is also very strong.
Yeah. And even if you get Withered, you still have the Valkyrie to get some distance. You can just use it to avoid the Wither. And if it looks like Showmaker is going to try to be aggressive on you. The main thing about the Nasus, though, is just him wave clearing you over and over and over again. He puts 3 points into his E before he starts maxing his Q and becoming a big threat later on. You lose the Rel because you did not pick it up here in this third spot, nor did you pick up the Leona, which I think will have to be banned here, which is fine. Since Chovy did pick up the Corki instead, we'll just ban that a second time. I wonder what comes next here for GENG's ban, because there's not a whole lot of other picks that we really know Moham for at the moment in terms of the support role. Could be a ban towards Kingen instead.
Yeah, maybe like a Gnar. And
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
The Cassante again, and maybe force a Cassante ban. I think that's definitely a viable option. Really, Moham has been the Rel guy. I don't think you really need to dig deeper into his pool unless you know 100% what his second pick is to go for.
And he's definitely talking about different other engage picks, and yeah, I think that was his decision. Tell them, like, look, I don't want to deal with Nautilus.
I don't feel like Nautilus would have really been good into this. But
no, I don't think so either, but
okay.
He's good into Corki, you know, to be fair.
Yeah, you could press R. I mean, it still does that, but...
And down here on the D+ side of things, since it was not a top ban, they will just ban the Cassante anyways. Seems like the most obvious choice that you'd want to take away. But, I mean, it is red side here for GENG, so they get counterpick if they would like to use it for top lane. If they wanted to get counterpick for support, then this would be where you lock the R4 Cassante, so it feels very powerful there. But if they just swap it up here and blind the support with a Blitzcrank, then, you know,
yeah,
100% win rate. I wonder who is in those games.
Maybe that Lahens guy. I've heard he's pretty good at this pick. Definitely a Lahens big go-to. And, you know, if they have a bunch of brushes set up, you kind of know where they're going to be, and you can pull somebody out of that.
Yeah.
Ivern isn't, you know, he's got Daisy, which is going to block some hooks and stuff, but the MF not going to feel too fun.
If you know where
if
you know where the MF is ulting, then obviously you have an angle, you can grab her as well. Poppy is going to be picked here in response, and you can't flex this because you are blue side, so we'll be looking to see something else here. Blind Olaf would be pretty crazy, but I mean,
the Garen hover.
It is a pretty strong pick into most meta champions in the top lane, difficult to punish. And because they have Ziggs, Maokai, they can't play Cannon here. I just don't think that's an option. Maybe Gnar is what Keen looks for, to try to use range. I think
maybe he plays Ryze.
Yeah, I mean, Ryze is actually a good shout, but again, it's too much magic damage in this comp, and you have a really strong team that can build a lot of MR if you go too hard into that magic profile. So maybe just GP or Gnar here, or Garen.
Garen! Yeah, just play Garen instead, of course. Now, is it going mid?
Yeah, that's the question.
Are we getting top Corki?
I mean, I think that makes sense, because you have a melee champion in the mid lane that's going to be just hard shoving waves. You could just answer, spin through the minions, clear that yourself. Silence is very valuable, actually, in the laning phase. It's difficult for Showmaker to all-in this Garen. You could stabilize there quite well. You still have the Ziggs composition that's very, very strong in the mid-game of pushing down turrets and making an impact from a long distance away. Ziggs bomb plus Garen ult means dead champion.
Yeah.
I do like that. And then, you know, consider that it is that melee matchup, so you're not really losing anything with the Garen going mid, and Keen has been so good at range top lanes for his entire career. The Quinn was mentioned earlier. Urgot, another pick that he's picked up a ton in the top lane. He just
Ryze counts.
Ryze, obviously, you mentioned. So it ends up being a pretty nice way to set this one up. And I think it's, with Ivern, extremely difficult to punish. That's a Corki. How are you going to gank the Corki with an Ivern? I just don't think that is something that's realistic here, unless he makes a huge mistake.
Yeah, I am excited to see what the Olaf Ivern dive looks like. Also, what kind of lane swaps we're going to get in this one, because I would imagine we're going to get it somewhere. Maybe GENG just opts into it once again to deal with the MF early on with their Ziggs. Yes, that is Chovy playing mid Garen into Nasus. This is 2024. Welcome to the Unibank Summer Playoffs. We are ready for game number 2.
미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
You know, Valdez, I have really enjoyed the fact that neither of these teams are on the Senna hype train. They're just on the other crazy wild ride hype train. The Malphite, the Garen, the Nasus. No Senna. No Senna here. We don't want any of that. That's boring. I've seen that champ a lot. I haven't seen Garen a lot, not in the LCK.
I'm sure we will get the pop-up eventually.
Hasn't been that long.
It hasn't been that long. It did get played at some point.
But not in mid lane, I don't think. So
no.
It was, so I think that one will be a mid first and a Chovy first as well, obviously.
He gets to add it to his list of unique champions that he's played.
Yep.
That's always fun. We'll probably get that one as well. Keen, at the moment. Okay, so nobody's in the top.
Yeah, Chovy hasn't locked his first skill. As he wants to know, do I want to spin through this or do I want to slap Showmaker with my sword and make him quiet?
Is that really a slap? It's more of like a...
I mean, look at that broadsword. It doesn't look very sharp, does it?
Yeah, true. It's like a smack over the head, I guess.
It looks like a sword you'd give a child to play with, you know?
Yeah.
Plastic lightsaber.
It's made out of foam.
Yeah. But obviously we'll go for the E first there. But was waiting to see what Showmaker would do. It clears the wave.
Yeah. And, you know, blind Olaf, generally not great. I think into the comp, it's fantastic, potentially. I think it would be much better if it had healing, if it had Sen alongside of it. And I do feel like we've kind of gone a little bit off the rails here with this new 14-16 meta and all the new weird picks. And even the fact that Senna's just ignored again, second game in a row. Where am I, Wolf? What's happening?
You're sitting right next to me
on
the English caster desk. Koreans are over there. Look behind you, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We're on the D+ side. We're at Lull Park. And yeah, it's a blind Olaf. Now, the reason why I felt like this blind Olaf pick was kind of okay in the outset was just because that Kennen pick that seems like the best is, yes, Garen mid debut.
There it is.
And we will see Chovy added to his unique pool, I imagine, the next CG. There it is.
How could we have known, Wolf?
Well, it's just what we do here at the LCK. But like, Kennen isn't the only way this can be countered. I feel like Gnar would have felt pretty okay into this. And the fact that this Garen pick has been being played so much by Chovy, like, this isn't a surprise or shock to anybody because it's been going around through solo queue, just like Nasus was going around for Showmaker on his stream and stuff like that. But this was like being tweeted about by everybody. It was very known, this pick, and then it just allows the Corki to go top, which ends up being a comfortable matchup when you have an Ivern. If you had a stronger ganking jungler, 4D+, you might be able to actually punish that Corki, but he is Valkyrie, and I don't think he's really going to care that much about the Ivern. Now, look at Lucid right now. He is coming up here. He needs to hit that root, and then maybe they could do something. But if Keen just Valkyries it, then I mean, he doesn't care.
Also, Kingen is just not really a champ, but he does have Ghost. There's the Valkyrie. Keen will flash straight into the root, and the Olaf's on top of him, and Keen is just so dead. There's no way to get away from that one. Now, if the flash were better, he probably would have gotten away, but instead he just dies. And Lucid sets up first blood here for Kingen.
Oh!
Wow, that was sick. And now, instead, Moham is able to flash in front of it, and he will have to give his life for the kill. That hook was definitely going to hit Aiming, who also flashed away. And so it doesn't, you know, it was all very cool and flashy in the bottom lane, but it's still just a kill for GENG.
Yeah, just a kill goes over. It's picked up by Lehens. As Chovy is dominating this matchup, we keep watching it. And, you know, Aiming, on one way you might look at it and be like, wow, he really did Moham dirty. He flashed away and Moham gets hit instead. But Moham also flashes, ends up being kind of a disaster.
Karen 덤벼라.
So I'm guessing this is when it was locked in. I'm not 100% sure the context of this. Now, Keen Valkyrie's first, and that gives Lucid the opportunity to hit him with the Trigger Seed. The flash angle, if he had gone up, then maybe he doesn't actually buy enough space there and gets caught anyways, but I think he probably would have been fine. And down here, really nice satchel as well after the grab. Still has Hex Flash, so it doesn't feel that egregious, but now down 2 flashes in the bottom lane. Hazelhens didn't have to use anything for that, and it's a huge win there. So Lucid gets a kill, top side onto Keen. He's still up pretty significantly in CS. Maybe another opportunity here for a grab. Not going to see it.
Yeah. That's the thing about the Garen into the Nasus is like, okay, well, you want to play a melee champion that has wave clear. Garen's just going to outdo Nasus 10 times out of 10, spin to win, and immediately the wave is just cleared. And Nasus, well, he's got his E, but he definitely doesn't get that wave clear online quite as fast. As everybody's going towards the Grubs, Wolf.
Yeah, everybody's grouped up here. Do not want to allow GENG to, once again, run away with the macro. Hard to engage here as D+, though. You really need to get value out of this Olaf in this fight.
And once again,
kind of waiting.
Not here, so it's just a 5v4 in favor of GENG. They try to go in on Olaf. That's not a good choice for Canyon. He might just die. He's dead. Down he goes. Now Keen trying to Valkyrie away. Remember, he doesn't have flash. He's going to go down. Double kill here for Kingen. As now trying to frontline with the Garen, but out comes Daisy, and GENG going to have to abandon ship. But there's another route that comes in. A triple kill for Kingen's Olaf. And Aiming's just farming bot the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge win for D+. I mean, they surge ahead, 2,000 gold. The advantage here, 4 kills on the Olaf. as this pick just keeps on slamming them down in these early games. I mean, we had a penta on Olaf in that previous round by Zayas. But, you know, engaging on the Olaf, like you said, when he has ult available, just seems like a silly idea. They could have played a lot more respectfully there. Pays didn't have ult, which is really huge going into this fight. So, yeah, he's here and aiming isn't, but you're a Ziggs. So you kind of have one rotation of spells, which he doesn't even use because he isn't there, as you say. It's just a really nice turnaround here. They really just didn't want to give D+ any of these grubs, but engaging to try to stop that was probably not the play. And when you consider the value of the root here, when everybody could just follow up on the Ivern, it is massive. You have a melee composition with the Nasus and the Olaf. Let's look at this. Glacial, no flash here for the Corki, slowed, taken down. So that's it. But then, and look at them all just melee. Like, whoop! That's Ivern, baby. Yeah. And we talk about the brushes a lot, but we don't often talk about the fact that you can just instantly right-click on people and get on top of them when they get caught by that. And D+ fans going wild because this is a completely different game than game one.
Yep. And you know, Garen doesn't care about Wither either, so he's just kind of running at him. Now, Kingen, I don't think he really cares, and GENG are just not respecting the Olaf at all, as now, finally, we're going to have a Satchel to deal with this.
I mean, he's got Ghost. Got to respect this champ.
Yeah. At least the ult doesn't last for too long early on, as now, oh, that knockback on a Lucid stops the hook from coming in, but it doesn't matter, as it's still going to be the kill. And now Kingen, no Ghost, no Flash, no ult. He can't get away now, as this is going to be a huge shutdown. They're going to give over to someone. It should be Keen, as eventually, surely, okay, he does take him down. 600 gold and a free turret down in the bottom side.
It's all fun and games when you're getting plates topside for aiming the Gold King until your bottom side is left out to dry. And as much as we said, oh, they should respect King in there, because it's true, he has Ghost, he has ult. If he uses those tools, then he's diveable. And now the Satchel's going to come through, and that is going to be first brick for GENG on top of the shutdown. And we see a 2,000 gold swing back now into their favor, as Lehens will also pick up his 5,000th assist in that moment.
Yeah.
And Lucid also with another unfortunate flash here. Because, look, Kingen used all his tools, and you're still pushing up to try to contest Dragon here. You don't have the numbers advantage.
Oh, no.
He's caught, pushed back like you mentioned. The Maokai or Root coming out as well, just to guarantee Kingen. Canyon's like, no, you don't have ult, you don't have Ghost, and you don't have Flash because you have Ghost. So you're dead. Flashes for the play. A much more high-value Flash than his opposition on the other side. They give the kill to Keen. So the Corki gets 600 gold injected. And, you know, just like that, things turn around.
Yeah. And, you know, DK, they did get that top turret. Aiming is still the Gold King. He picks up his BT. They maintain the lead, but as you mentioned, I mean, it's just so much gold taken here by the side of GENG. They catch up in a big way.
I think it was a bit of a surprise that Keen was down there, right? But obviously they knew he wasn't topside because they were pushing the turret there.
Can we dive a Garen?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Well, we're going to figure it out here at the LCK. The answer is absolutely not.
Not even close.
Maybe with Lucid. I think with Lucid, follow-up here, probably a get-up. Maybe. Well, that's going to be an axe to come in. There's the root as well. Jovi in a bit of trouble. And the knockup comes in from Daisy, and finally they do take him down. But now counter dive up on the top side. Can we dive Nasus? The next question, this one much easier, although a lot of damage did go into Canyon. That is going to be a kill going over to Pays.
Okay, so ends up being a 2-for-1 here. Kingen taken out as well. And, I mean, you couldn't kill him the first time because he cleared the wave. Chovy in the bottom side. Kill him the second time. But you leave a big hole in the top side for Ziggs. Demolish is going to proc.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it. You guessed it. It's going to be another turret for GENG.
Yeah, I mean, trading turrets against the Ziggs, never a good idea. Diving a Garen in general, not the best idea. They make it work, but it doesn't feel like they're trading up in any way. That's another turret that goes over to GENG, and 5 grubs as well.
I mean, that's part of why they're able to take that turret out as quickly as they do. Like, we're showing Chovy's first-person view here. And he makes that call and knows the pings on the top side on the minimap instantly. So they go through and make the play. King dies here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he died.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes down off camera, but
A little
did take
bonus
that
kill.
extra turret shot, so it's just not ideal here. And then obviously root into hook into Popo.
Didn't think about the Maokai Blitzcrank synergy.
Maokai, he kind of just works with anything you have to aim. He says, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Not when my ult's out.
Reminder that they gave GENG Maokai Ziggs again, and they first picked Nasus when Chovy is a known Garen mid abuser.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like I gave him a little pass in game one. I think it's really difficult to draft into GENG in general, but
I mean, they felt like they were
This
safe when
game-
they saw the Corki lock in, but then they blinded the Olaf and they gave him the keen flex. And once again, Valdez, even though you have the Ivern on your side as D+, you can't see, it's a little bit scary on the map. When you don't have control, GENG are super oppressive. And they don't have a Tristana this time, but they still have the Ziggs, as you very expertly pointed out. And he is racking up money. 1-0-3.
yeah. I thought that when they banned Nidalee, they were going to first pick Maokai. I thought that would be the idea, but it didn't happen. Lahen's going to get rooted, but, well, he's decently tanky at least. Going to hook in Daisy, give some extra gold over 50 for himself, of course. Also, take a look, by the way, at the different build from Pace.
Yeah, this time when he doesn't have to play safely, this time when he's not vulnerable to a dive comp, he's going to go straight into burst damage. Luden's Companion here, no tier required. As Showmaker once again is in trouble.
Oh, where have we seen this combo before? Well, press R, drop a hook, Pace not even needed, drops a bomb just in case.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think he cares too much about missing that ultimate right now, because it's not going to affect his constant push towards his mid turret. Only 10 seconds left on the plates, so won't be picking up any more of those, but so much gold already in the pockets of GENG here. And I mean, for Showmaker in that moment, like, he can't flash the Maokai ult. He's going to get hit by it no matter what, so he just kind of has to sit there and die, and there is no cross map.
Lahen's in a little bit of a rough spot here, probably going to go down. DK, nice catch onto Lahen's, who did have flash, but did not elect to utilize it. And that's going to be Rift Herald going over the side of DK.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there by GENG on the back off there after killing Showmaker, but they obviously had to go really deep to set that up, so somewhat forgivable. A really nice punish does come through. Let's see what they can get done with this, because top turret already died earlier. Mid and bottom are very healthy, and they don't have themselves a great siege composition or a very guaranteed way to set up for the kill, so they can get some damage done with it. They can use it for prio on the next dragon. Like, look at this angle for Showmaker. If he goes up to avoid the ult, he dies.
Yeah.
If he flashes, he doesn't avoid the ult. Like, there's literally no counterplay here.
Yeah, even if he flashes under turret, still gets hit by the ult, still gets hooked and dies.
King also TP'd up this. I think they were hoping they could maybe save the play. Already hitting up top side. This ends up being a big boon because they wanted to set up for Herald anyways. And end up catching Lahen's on the retreat. Small victory. I mean, it's a very big Olaf. 6 kills. Stridebreaker going to feel really good in this composition, but...
You know what's really good into Olaf? Damage.
Yes. Range damage specifically, quite good.
Yeah. Also, another Oblivion Orb picked up by Paze early on. Deals with the BT, deals with Nasus, Ivern sustain, you know, Redemption, deals with Olaf, obviously. Feels like an even better buy in this game.
Yeah. And when you have a ton of money, you know, you don't have to make tough choices about what you want to buy. You can just buy the good item.
Yeah, he didn't buy Horizon Focus in game 1, but in this game it gives even more value because with all the brushes, you can get vision.
Yep.
With that item, and you know, Ivern's like, well, what if we just hide in this brush? And then it's like you've got blitz hooks coming at you, you've got vision from the Ziggs. Maokai can always just press R as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a valuable buy. And it's completed now at 16-15. As you mentioned it, speak of the devil, it is just right in front of our screens, showcasing the lead he has over aiming right now. And BT is so valuable, obviously, into this comp, but Hens is playing a game here with Moam, and
Yeah.
Moam loses.
I mean, they're going to hook up Poppy. Generally not a good idea. The knockup comes in, but GENG are on the escape. The ult comes out from the Olaf, and down will go Lahen's. There's now Redemption as well. GENG, they play with fire, and DK, they say bring it. And they're going to get another double kill here for the side of King, and who now has 8 kills.
Yeah. I mean, look, Moam was the loser of the mini game of trying to avoid the hook, but I feel like he was the winner in the end because looking at the Poppy means a big front line, 40 plus, and now they're going in.
Yeah, another root here on a Canyon who is very tanky. Down will go the Ivern and Chovy. Can they kill him is the question. Poppy, Moham is in the Riptail, goes in, and will just die. He does trade himself for the Garen. I guess that's worth, but now aiming, very awkward spot, has to trade flashes with Pays, who threatened the, Satchel engage.
Yeah, Satchel knockback there would have definitely done him in, so good flash. Can't cleanse that one. So he ends up taking him down there, or taking his flash down there, that is to say. Yeah, Lucid just getting ulted there by the Garen. I don't really agree with Moham. I mean, yeah, he trades his life for a Garen, but the kill still goes over, and had to use everything for it, and now he's not here for this fight.
I feel like they got a little bit of that BNK in them in
Yeah.
that moment, you know? They're like, we're all gonna go super deep.
They could have just been happy with the turret, you know? I would have been, as this is that game where Mom's playing a little dodge action. He gets satcheled, but gets the double knock up here, and then Lahenz is very, very low. And look at King, and like I mentioned it, you said damage is good in him. There's not a whole lot of damage here. Then King just straight up teleports in to die. And this was very disjointed for the side of GENG. A kind of uncharacteristically weird team fight there. And then here, you just don't have to hard force this. They try to get Canyon. They're successful in getting his flash, but 1 health Rift Herald. Vaughn goes in, and he's like, got him. I guess so. If the kill goes over to aiming, maybe it's worth, but it goes over to Moham. Yeah, good flash there from aiming. That was really well played.
You talked about the burst damage, which is something that's not often mentioned, but you know, we talk about poke, we talk about dive comps, we talk about disengage comps and stuff like that, but the burst from Chovy and Pays, we saw it there. Underneath the turret, Lucid thinks he's fine. He gets flashed on by Assassin Garen, gets 1 shot, and yeah, you know, the trade comes in, and eventually it feels pretty good for GENG, who get the Ocean Drake and now spawn the Hextech Soul.
Look at the damage in this game. Actually Pays currently, I guarantee you, even if GENG loses this game, that will change. But at the moment, leading the damage charts at over 10,000, nearly 11,000 there. Geen, has some teammates nearby.
Yeah.
But I think this turret just goes down. They're going to try to ult to save it.
All right, well, that's the root, and that's the hook underneath the turret, and max range doesn't matter. You get rooted, you get hooked, and Moham trying to disengage with his own ult is not successful.
This keeps being a bit of a problem. This good old Maokai setting up for Lahenz to hook people in. I think D+ didn't hard commit to that. They kind of half committed, and then when the ult came out, they were still caught because Moham was so far forward there. I wanted to get the turret so badly, end up getting punished. This game is super wild, but I feel like GENG have so many edges here because of the composites and how simple it is to blow up aiming if he gets caught by a Maokai ult, if he gets Ziggs bombed. Some of the same problems they had last game, and the side lane issue they have to deal with. As Moham obviously channeling this to try to help his teammates disengage means that he's immobile, he's going to get caught by the root, he is then going to be hooked. And Lahenz might have even been able to hook him without the root, but either way, that does connect. I look at this comp where the Olaf has this massive shield from Starax. He's very, very large. He is very fed. He is a level up on Keen right now. And he's not going to be very vulnerable to Ziggs, the Ziggs ultimate. That's not going to be an issue for him. But long-term damage from the Corki within the Garen ult might just blow him up when he tries to actually frontline.
Yeah. Still got to run through mines and stuff and some bombs, so.
And while he doesn't have Senna to back him up, he does have an Ivern. So the fact that this Olaf is so big is very punishing for GENG when they make mistakes like they did next to that dragon fight. And if you are split up or if you teleport on top of him, he is going to do a lot. So I mean, there's still an angle here. He can run through Canyon's ultimate. He can block for his teammates. Instead, aiming up for success. And obviously the follow-up to Lucid's roots.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, not again.
Moham!
Moham, he's got flash. He's actually trying to set up a play. Redemption on top. There's a bullet time. And, well, Moham does go down in the end. Daisy will not get her revenge. In fact, this is gold given over to Keen at the end of the day. And Lahenz, I mean, if you give him an opportunity to play Blitz, he will play Blitzcrank, and he will run the game.
Yeah, and that has kind of been the way it's been for a very long time here in the LCK. Is D+ are just going to see GENG back off and look to try to sneak a Baron here.
They absolutely can two-man this, but
Canyon, will he scout? He's got Sapling, he's going to control ward it. They know, but they need to show up. Hayes has TP, but he's a Ziggs. They might be in trouble here, Valdez. TP coming through as well from Showmaker.
Yeah, definitely trying to force this one. GENG, they want to do something about it. Canyon doesn't have his ult. The knock up here on a Mohawk, not a lot of damage. Oh, comes in onto aiming, and Garen is in the back line. Down will go aiming, and the damage is just way too much. GENG, they get the punish, and it looked a little bit iffy, but now the Bomba over the top as well. Ziggs will not be defeated. And now the two of them trying to get away. They do huddle up against the wall like they're in the cold winter, but in the end of the day, it is a big fight win to the side of GENG.
Chovy respawns in 25 here, but I think they definitely can take this Baron. Clearing out vision now. It's Ivern with no flash on the other side. Good luck stopping GENG, good luck stealing. They don't even need to have that much control, but Lehens has it here in the choke point. If Lucid steps too close, he will die, and they will get the Baron, so a little bit concerned about him walking up here.
Don't do it, Lucid.
Don't do it, man.
You have so much to live for. They need you for the Hex victory.
Yeah, he will not hard commit, just drops a daisy. Moab's on a ward. Lehens doesn't miss, okay? That's just the truth. And we've all seen it. We've all experienced it. Everybody watched it.
Thank you, Wolf, for being honest.
I mean, it's like, there's like something out there like, I think Lehens missed the hook once. I'm like, no!
You're wrong.
No Lehens blitz denied.
Look at this. Look at this hook.
Look,
are you
on
kidding me?
When Kingin is right there, he threads the needle, and some of this is on the positioning of aiming, but I mean, I'm going to give full credit to Lehens because the accuracy, the threading the needle, the angle is so difficult in a bunched up team fight like that. And when you take aiming out, that's the fight, that's the win. And what was a really cool attempt there from GENG, because they knew a lot of big tools like the Nature's Grasp were down. GENG weren't grouped. He's even going to be able to hit it on the red buff. But it's just so team fight warping to just take out the MF, take out that bullet time from the fight right away. That's one of your biggest turn tools and the best target to hook, and Lehens takes him out. It's 10 out of 13 KP this game.
Yeah, I think especially his positioning, like he was in 5 players, threads the needle as you mentioned, gets the perfect target, but also pulls it directly on top of a teleporting Garen. Like, maybe if he threads the needle and it's like over the wall and then aiming flashes away, it's not nearly as impactful, but the fact that he pulls him into Chovy, who just immediately blows him up, it's just so oppressive. I don't blame aiming at all. And you see aiming is 3rd to last on the damage charts, and it's not even really his fault. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been there for some of the fights, but I don't really know if there's anything else he could have done in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to flash the hook, might have been able to do anything in that fight, but
yeah.
I just think he didn't expect it. Really classic Lehens, and the kills are close, but the map control is not.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Again!
Oh, Showmaker, he gets rooted at the very end of the Maokai ultimate, and it's just set up on a T for Lehens once again, who presses the Q, and they have the damage from ahead. And this is what this composition does.
And right now, Lehens, for this game, career is 8-1 on the Blitzcrank. And it's looking like he's going to turn it into a 9-1, 90%. With the setup he's been given by Canyon.
Some quick math there, Wolf.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you can do math on stream.
when it's you know, base number 10. Here comes Kingin. You know, the issue is, yeah, the Olaf is huge, and he himself is really fantastic into this, but he's alone. Nobody else can really follow up on him.
Valdez, it's starting to feel like the 3-0 Predators, man, are feeling good right now because even with a good draft in Game 1 from D+, and a creative opportunity maybe for that Nasus to get value, GENG are they're just smashing him. I mean, they're playing Corki top, playing Garen mid, which is a surprise to literally no one who cares about and watches League of Legends, so it seems like, wow, that's crazy, but like, he's been spamming it, he's been playing it, and then you felt safe because they locked the Corki, but it wasn't for him.
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw Showmaker pull out the Nasus against BNK. It got a win, and maybe they're saying, okay, maybe we can utilize this again, but not into this team, not in the Chovy. King instead, trying to go head-to-head against Chovy's Garen down 2 levels. Kingin bursts into laughter because there's not really much else you can do at this point. Game 2 is, I mean, it's done. BK, they don't have an angle.
Yeah, Showmaker hands off the keyboard here. Look at him just stand and watch. Chovy's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep pushing. My team has full control of mid. That inhibitor's down.
He's got Mortal Reminder as well. Nobody's healing in this game.
Nobody's healing. Nobody's doing damage. Everybody is, however, getting hooked, as aiming will avoid this one.
Yeah.
But,
I think playing, you know, MF in the last game could have been very nice. In this game, just doesn't feel nice at all.
no, Chovy's just going to solo this and hit bottom, while the rest of his team systematically destroys the top. The inhibitor will
unclicked on the
survive.
gate.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is the angle.
All right, they have the flank, and now they're just gonna try to engage on the aiming, who is kind of frontlining here, but oh boy, here comes Garen, and the Ziggs bomb over the top, and aiming just doesn't get to play the game. And Lahens, he's going to taunt Olaf away from the team fight, so that's gonna win it there. As GENG, it almost looks like they're playing solo queue at this point. It's so one-sided.
Yeah, Chovy didn't even have to ult in that last kill onto aiming. Not sure who he ulted ultimately here, but somebody died, I think, off camera while we were watching Kingen try to chase Lahens.
Oh, the game is over. It's 2-0 for GENG. This is a playoff best-of-5, everybody, and GENG are just smurfing on them.
Remember, GENG lost their first game of the season to this team, and it was a very one-sided game, but the reads are just so clean here in this draft for game 2. In game 1 as well, they were able to get the Tristana and the Ziggs with the Maokai. They get Ziggs Maokai again, but it was really the Maokai Blitzcrank combo that did D+ in. The Ziggs was still good, was still getting gold.
Yeah.
And D+ looked so crushed, so defeated. I mean, there were smiles on Showmaker's face, a big sigh. Kingen laughed when he died in the bottom lane there, solo killed by Chovy. Because you just know, man, we came into this series thinking maybe there's a chance, maybe this goes 5 again. It's D+ versus GENG. That's what history has showed us for the last few years, but not this year and not this season. GENG with a massive, massive stomp in game 2. Arguably more one-sided than the first. But I mean, that's even possible.
It was one-sided in just a different vibe, Wolf. They found 2 different kind of zones to do the one-sided games in. GENG 2-0 ahead. It has not been a close series. We'll see if DK can come back after the break. We'll be right back.
마우고 한 번만 더 보자. 공식. 에이, 뭐 탔다. 에이, 뭐야. 빼야. 나 미포. 앞으로. 가렌이야. 야, 나와서 죽겠다.
야, 불때 죽는다. 안 죽어.
아타스 죽여.
야, 나 올라파 내가 리퍼 끊을게.
시원한데?
강인데?
가렌 사기라니까. 뽀삐도 잡아버려.
아, 지훈이 혼자 재밌는 거 했네. 야, 나 올라파 리퍼 끊으면 좋냐?
그러면 끝나긴 함.
어차피 끝나긴 한데. 아 제국다. 아 나 인피를 못 뽑았네. 인피 이제 뜨는데.